The title of our talk today is How Goodness Pays. And some of you might be sitting there in your seats thinking, well, how do these two concepts come together? Aren't they conflicting? How do you possibly have goodness and expect it to pay?
I quit my job with 2 kids in college, and I spent the next 5 years building this organization called Good Leadership Enterprises, where we coach leaders on how to lead with goodness. We were convincing people to do things in different ways, but we had no data to prove that goodness pays.
I've been saying for years, without data, you're just another person with an opinion.
When people thrive together in a culture of encouragement, accountability, and positive teamwork. And what I think is obvious here is, can't this apply to any organization?
Being kind to people, really listening to people, it's helped attract more good people to work with.
So let me talk a little bit about the GPS. It's a 1-question survey. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your direct leader in proactively promoting goodness in his or her decision making? If you score 9 or above on the GPS, we call you a goodness accelerator. If you're in that next section of a 7 to 8, you're goodness neutral. But if you're in that 1 to 6 zone, we call those drainers. And nobody wants to be a drainer.
The assessment simplicity. It's demanding, which I really liked. The 9 and 10s are the only ones that really count. You can't fudge it.
Now we're going to talk about the 5 goodness pays factors, which are going to help you to get on that track to success.
The first factor is that you have to work together to build a compelling plan. I think probably the simplest lesson here is when people are involved, they're engaged.
The second factor, you have to make sure that people believe that profits are healthy for everyone. But if they think that the profitability of the company is only going to benefit the senior leaders or maybe the owner, their motivation is going to diminish significantly.
Goodness factor number 3 is to build a team-based culture. Goodness pays when people feel like they win together.
Leaders have to commit to timely and transparent decision making. The days of being slow and mysterious, those are gone.
So the final one is that we have to commit to this idea of magnetic ethics. As leaders, we're only as good as the people that we have around us. And it's important that we remember that our ethics attract the people around us.
The 5 goodness pays factors definitely resonates, I think, with anybody who has to supervise employees, has to look at output, and has to take a deep and honest look at one's own leadership.
It's called nagging rights. And what nagging rights is when you find 3 to 4 trusted people who you can share with them exactly what you're working on. But the key for nagging rights to work is it must be accompanied with 0 cost of candor.
That you're open to those kind of things and be able to hear what others truly think and taking that feedback back and trying to improve yourself from it.
I used to think that goodness kind of got in the way of the drive, right? The drive for better financial results. That's in essence my story. Now I believe that goodness is actually the driver of financial success.
Being in the world of business is somehow a dog-eat-dog thing. Well, it can be. Their message is it shouldn't be because it doesn't pay as well when you do it that way.
Goodness has been part of our vocabulary for a long time, and we've seen the results of that day in and day out, including financially.
Universally applicable. I don't see any bounds to it.
The world needs us to be good leaders who radiate goodness.